Hey guys, it's me, Delicious Delights. How are you guys doing? Hopefully well. Okay, so today's video is about tea. Not just tea alone, but tea and perfumes. If you've been watching me for a while, you probably know that I drink a lot of tea. I'm almost fanatical about tea. All different types of tea I like to drink. It's kind of like a daily ritual for me in the morning to drink tea, in the daytime to drink tea, and as a nightcap to drink tea as well. So this video I'll be talking about 6 fragrances showcasing 6 different types of teas, and they are all niche, I believe. Yes, they're all niche fragrances. Not that I did that on purpose, but those are the ones that I found most interesting. So yeah, let's just jump right into this. First of all, the first one I want to talk about is showcasing Oolong tea. Now, Oolong tea is a Chinese tea. It's a green tea, and it's typically rolled up into these little balls that when you submerge them into water, they would kind of just blossom and release their flavors and aromas that way. So the one that I want to talk about today is called Oolong Infini from Atelier, Cologne. Oh, first of all, I should show this to you guys. You guys might find it interesting. You know how there's those dabber samples from Lucky Scent, and they're almost impossible to test because you just have that small dabber thing, and it's just, you know, you can test fragrances that way, but we all know, I think most people would agree that spray samples are nicer to use, especially when testing. So what I did was I took the top of a spray vial and just jammed it in there, and for some reason, and luckily, it fit perfectly. So now instead of dabbing, I could spray it to test, which is awesome. So that's just a little tip if you didn't already know that, if you don't really like the dabber samples. Okay, so Oolong tea, Oolong Infini, sorry. This is so yummy. Now, Oolong tea comes in a lot of different varieties. It could be honeyish, it could be woody, it could be creamy, but this particular variety is green and fresh, and it comes off very beautifully in a perfume. This one is citrusy. It has a touch of woods in there. I don't know what the notes are. I'm just going off what I smell, and to my nose it comes off a little bit milky as well. And what I do whenever I drink Oolong tea is I actually add milk to it, because it just adds a nice creamy kind of character to the taste in your mouth. And this one is a creamy, milky, green, fresh, almost citrusy kind of green tea, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's just so refreshing, and I just think, I don't know, I just love it so much, you guys. So that's Oolong Infini from the house of Atelier, Cologne. The second one I want to talk about is an interpretation of Lapsang Souchong Tea. I don't know if I'm saying that right, Lapsang Souchong. It is a Chinese black tea, and the biggest characteristic, the first thing that I notice whenever I drink Lapsang Souchong tea is that it's extremely smoky. This particular tea is a tea where the black tea leaves are smoked over a pine wood fire. So all of those fumes from the pine wood would be infused into the black tea leaves, and you're left with an extremely smoky, dark, wispy, woody kind of taste with Lapsang Souchong tea. And I don't think I've heard anyone compare this fragrance or translate this fragrance to tea at all. But in my mind, whenever I wear this fragrance, I am automatically reminded of Lapsang Souchong Tea. And the fragrance is from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and it's called Oud Cashmere Mood. I am in love with this fragrance. It's so good. One spray lasts literally the whole entire day. So it looks like I haven't worn it a lot, but when you just need one spray, like I don't know how many years it will take me to finish this vial. So this is an Extrait de Parfum. So, you know, I really love this fragrance, but I don't think I need a bottle of it because this vial of 11 mils will literally last me for years and years. So, oh, right away, right away, you get a very strong oudy wood. This is probably the most smokiest oud, or one of the most smokiest oud fragrances I've ever smelled. But when I smell this, I don't think oud right away. The first thing I think about is Lapsang Souchong Tea. When I smell this, I can kind of picture that wood burning fire, like a campfire. Very dark, very strong, extremely smoky, and it just smells like a very high quality Lapsang Souchong tea that was just freshly brewed. Not the ones in the tea bags, but the actual leaves. And I drink Lapsang Souchong quite often, of the Demande Frère variety. I'm a huge fan of it. It's extremely smoky, and to my nose, yes, it's oud and wood, but I relate more to it as a steaming fresh hot cup of Lapsang Souchong tea. And that's what it is in a nutshell. Okay. Wow, I'm already at 7 minutes. This is going to be a long video. I hope you guys don't mind. But let's just continue. The next variety of tea I want to talk about is Osmanthus tea. And Osmanthus tea is a tea that's made out of a flower that is native to China. I think this flower only grows in Asia or China. I'm not really sure. Also in Japan. But it's not really a common flower, especially I don't think you would smell any osmanthus flowers in America. I could be wrong, but whenever I think osmanthus, I automatically think of the Orient and of Asia. Osmanthus tea has a very sweet and buttery kind of flavor. And the fragrance I want to talk about that showcases this very nicely is from the house of Parfum de Empire, and it's called Osmanthus Interdite. And let me just get it on some paper. It's so good. Osmanthus Interdite. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not. But in this fragrance, you do get that very nice, sweet, buttery, flowery kind of smell. But in addition to this, they added a very nice touch of fruit. And when I smell this, I'm smelling peaches. So basically, it's like a osmanthus tea that's peach flavored. Almost like a peach iced tea, but you can definitely feel that there's some really nice creamy florals in there as well. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know why people don't talk about this one. It's so good. Maybe because osmanthus tea isn't really a common tea that you would find if you went to a coffee house in America, for example, but I like to enjoy the occasional osmanthus tea at home, and I just feel so comforted. It's so calming and gentle, and that slight sweetness in it just makes me happy and makes me feel calm, like I said. So Osmanthus Interdite from the house of Parfum de Empire is definitely one to try out if you haven't already. It's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Okay, the next tea I want to talk about is chai tea, masala chai. And this one is very, very common. I think a lot of you already have already tried masala chai tea. It's pretty popular. This is a tea that is black tea, but it's mixed with a lot of spices. Now, the spices that I can remember are cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, ginger, peppercorn, and if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, star anise. I did have a friend of mine that makes fresh homemade masala chai tea, and I swear to you, it is the most delicious thing. When it comes to tea, I think it's one of the best tea experiences that I've ever had, because he spent so much time and so much love. He put so much of his love making into the tea. All of the spices and all of the tea flavors just mingling in the kitchen, and the smoke is coming up in the air. And the herbs as well. It's just the perfect smell. So to capture that smell in a perfume would be extremely difficult. But just for me, chai tea brings back a lot of memories for me, and just the love and care that my friend put into making this homemade chai tea. It impressed me, literally. It is a Indian spiced herbal tea, basically. So the fragrance that I think that showcases chai tea very, very nicely is from the house of Parfumerie Generale, and it's called Un Crime Exotique. I think this is discontinued. I think. I'm not really sure, but I don't really see or hear about it at all, basically. So that's why I want to talk about it. Let's just give this a spray. This fragrance in particular smells like all of those beautiful spices just wafting in the kitchen. And also, to my nose, comes off a little bit like gingerbread loaf, which has a lot of these spices in it as well, like cinnamon and cloves. So to me, I'm just picturing myself drinking a homemade cup of chai tea and then having like a big loaf of gingerbread beside it. This is absolutely delicious, and I don't know why it's discontinued, if it actually is, but if you're looking for an excellent chai tea fragrance, try to get your nose on this one, because it smells literally like that. Okay, next up, green tea. Green tea is extremely common everywhere in the world. I'm pretty sure you guys all have, at one point in your lives, have drank green tea. So I don't really have to go too much into that, but the fragrance that showcases green tea excellently is from the house of Maison Margiela, and it's called Tea Escape. I think I talked about this fragrance before on my channel briefly. I liked it then, and I absolutely like it still right now. Oh gosh, absolutely beautiful fragrance. Tea Escape. So basically, Tea Escape is green tea, but they added a huge dose of cream or milk in it. They added some sweetness in there as well. The texture of this is like rice, milky rice, almost like a rice pudding. If you were to somehow get rice pudding smell into a green tea, that's what this fragrance smells like to me, and it's just absolutely delicious. Kind of reminds me also of matcha green tea. And I also am reminded of pistachio nuts whenever I smell this fragrance. So there are so many layers and aspects to this tea, but the one thing that I get the most out of this is that it's very, very creamy and milky. and I absolutely love milky fragrances. But when you add that sweetness in there, the texture of rice in there, and almost like a nuttiness from the pistachio, it's pretty much a green tea dessert, like a green tea ice cream. And if you guys have not tried matcha green iced tea, matcha green ice cream, I think you definitely should, because it's absolutely delicious. I think this is almost bottle worthy for me. Tea Escape. It's kind of one of those fragrances that I have been testing for a very, very long time that I never actually pulled the trigger on. Not really sure why, but I think this is absolutely fantastic. Tea Escape from Maison Margiela. Okay guys, thanks for bearing with me. I have one more left to go. I know this is a very long video, so I'll try to make it quick. But this last fragrance showcases mint tea. Now, I absolutely love mint tea. I have a huge bunch of fresh tea leaves in my kitchen that I like to steep every single morning, and also at nighttime when I enjoy my tea. So I just love that this company, this house, has made a fragrance that reminds me of my early mornings all the time drinking mint tea. It's from the house of Comme des Garçons, and the fragrance is called Nomad Tea. Okay. You can see me smile right away. So Nomad Tea. This is a fragrance that has been re-released recently because this was part of their older collection. I don't remember what it's called, but it was discontinued and they brought it back. But basically, Nomad Tea is a very fresh and cooling mint tea that's sweet. And I'm also getting the smell of the mint stalks. And I'm not really sure what those things are called when you have the mint, the fresh mint on the, what the leaves are attached to. I'm not really sure what it's called. I don't know why I'm doing this. But you have the stalk and then you have the mint leaf tea stuck to it. So I'm also getting that. And it's also a little bit woody. So basically it smells like a very fresh, hot, steaming cup of mint tea with a touch of sweet sugar. It's fresh, it's clean, it's extremely cozy, very, very herbal, and an excellent, authentic smelling tea fragrance, so Moroccan mint tea. Okay guys, so that was my video on tea fragrances that I absolutely love. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any suggestions for any tea fragrances that you'd like to comment about or to suggest, please do in the comments. I would love to hear it because I love tea. I keep on saying that. I love tea, drinking tea, and I love tea fragrances, and I'm always looking for ones to get my nose on. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, as I already said, and I will be back with more videos soon. See you guys. Bye.